Alright, super quick intro for this video for Horror Month. This is a movie vlog of the film Body Bags. Really excited to revisit this film. I actually first watched it 4 years ago when I was doing a kind of Horror Month viewing, and I haven't seen it on Blu-ray before. This was sent to me a few years ago, and it was like such a surprise, like, oh my god, I love this film. I really wanted it. This is the American Shout Factory, Scream Factory release. And it's an anthology film with John Carpenter as this kind of like creepy, is he like a mortician, or is he works in a morgue and he kind of like frames all the stories and stuff. We haven't got too much time tonight because I've been doing a lot of work today, so we might just watch like 2 stories and then watch the third one tomorrow, something like that. See how it goes. It's only like 90 minutes, I think, but it's when I first saw this, I called it a perfect midnight movie. It isn't great, it's just a fun selection of short horror stories, 2 directed by John Carpenter and 1 by Tobe Hooper, I believe. I can't see on the back. Oh yes, directed by Tobe Hooper, yeah. Anyway, so we're going to check it out and dive into Body Bags. And Connie hasn't seen it, so I'm excited to see what she thinks of it. Could be touch and go, we'll see. What I like about this film is seeing Mark Hamill with his Ned Flanders mustache. That's one of my favourite things about it. Which is in the third story, I. Anyway, let's check it out. Okay, we're done with Body Bags. Yeah. There's an interesting... Actually, I'll talk about that later, because I think maybe the best thing to do is to get Connie's off-camera thoughts, and then she can go and brush her teeth and go to bed, because it's pushing it. And I didn't think we'd finish it tonight, so I'm glad we did finish it tonight.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So yeah, so it's the three stories: the gas station, Hair, and I believe they're called. They just tell you exactly what you need to know. One's set in a gas station, one's about hair, one's about an eye, and they're all linked by John Carpenter playing this guy who's in a morgue, and he's just chewing up the scenery. He's just having a laugh, like, you know. It's just, I really enjoy his just goofy presence, you know. Again, he's not trying to be like the biggest comedian in the world. He's not trying to take it too seriously. It's just a fun, grim, macabre kind of linking device, and so I find it to be quite an entertaining host. You could also almost, I'll leave that for free. You could almost imagine that being like a 90s like horror anthology TV show where he's the host every week. You know, it comes across like that, very much like almost like, I don't know, maybe this was a TV. I think this might have actually been a TV movie. Not entirely sure. It comes across like that though. I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, so first story was the gas station. I genuinely think it's a really, really good little horror movie in and of itself. Then you have Hair, which is more of a comedy horror, like a body horror, and I really enjoy it. It's very funny and creepy and disgusting. And then the third one, I, is a bit more disturbing. Definitely the darker of the 3. And I still don't like it very much. It's okay, you know. It's kind of weird seeing like one of my heroes, Mark Hamill, being
he was the best actor of the bunch. Just
being a disgusting, you know, just creepy, you know, and especially with the mustache and everything. And so it's kind of, you know, when you see a hero like that, kind of just like pretty much raping his wife and just, you know, biting a chunk out of her flesh, and then he just goes full on psycho at the end, which is very, you know, he does a good performance and everything. It's just it's a weird one, I guess, but you know, he is an actor and he's showing his range, I suppose. But overall, it's a bit cheesy. The story, like the flashing, you know, when he basically has an eye transplant, and it's like one of those classic urban legend stories. You know, someone is transplanted, they've received a transplant, and the transplant part comes from someone who used to be a killer, and now he's seeing and becoming the killer. So it's very ridiculous, over the top, and these kind of blinding white flashes are kind of a bit overdone. But yeah, what do you think about it in general? Just
I think in a way I prefer the first one.
Yeah, I think it's the best one. It kind of
it was just very, very frustrating when the killer came out, because she kept turning her stupid fucking back to him. No one would do that. It's so stupid. It's like, okay, he got up once.
Yeah. And
then you turn your back then, and then he came at you. You turn your back again. You deserve to die. Okay, I'm almost disappointed that didn't happen. And then the death itself was just stupid in itself. It was just
like the ending of it is a bit.
It could have had more potential. I felt like they just said they thought oh, let's just go over the top. No, they shouldn't have. It could have been really good from start to finish. But then they had to make it stupid in the end, which was disappointing.
I felt that was in the spirit of the whole thing, really. It isn't taking itself too seriously, and the ending of the gas station segment is very over the top. But I enjoy that. I don't know, but I also think there are genuine, really good, serious moments of tension in that, sprinkled throughout at least.
They started it out seriously with the gas station one, and then they ended it was stupid. Second one, knew that one was going to be stupid from the get-go anyway. It was just funny, and then it became gross, and I kind of had to look away because it was gross to look at.
Yeah, the hair with Stacy Keach is very...
kind of just a waste of time. I didn't see what the point of having that one in there. It wasn't horror at all. And the third one was actually really good. Of course, I thought that maybe they went way over the top with the bed scene, because you saw everything. And I didn't expect that, but because it wasn't like a movie. It's not a David Lynch movie. You're not supposed to be uncomfortable to that degree, are you? So that one too could have been even better if they had left that one out. Other than that would have been best, because it was actually horror-like.
Okay, so the battery ran out. Went upstairs, and Connie's gonna again add her off-camera thoughts very briefly. So you were talking about the third one of Mark Hamill and how it was too much with the uncomfortable sex scene, which I agree with, because you can kind of see everything.
Yeah, but other than that, it had the potential of being the best one out of all of them, because it was creepy and thriller-esque. And he by far acted better than the rest of the bunch as well, I think.
You mean the whole movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
No, of course he did. I mean, of course he kind of overdoes things sometimes, but he had to.
I guess.
Because it wasn't him. But yeah, other than that, it was entertainment, I guess.
What about the John Carpenter bits? What do you think of those?
Were those the two first ones?
No, the guy in the morgue. You know, the...
Well, it's unnecessary.
Okay.
It was more fitting with the middle one, I guess. I don't know. It was like partially funny here and there, but most of the time I was just sat there looking at it like, okay, so we just watched something that was supposed to be scary, and then it ended up being stupid, and the second one was just stupid, and then the third one was awful, like horror-esque, and then it comes up with the comedy in between. It's like, maybe some people need a breather or something if they're too scared. I don't know what it is, but to me it just felt like it felt like a TV movie, I guess. Yeah,
I think it was shown on TV. It was just fun. Anyway, so overall, okay.
It's alright.
It was alright, okay.
No more than that.
No more than that, okay. Well,
I don't recommend it.
Okay.
And I don't think I ever want to see it again.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Actually, no, I know I don't want to see it again.
You know you don't want to see it again.
But I would have liked to have seen a better rendition of the first one, like a proper movie based on...
The gas station.
Yeah. Because I kind of like where that was going, and then...
Yeah, I don't think it would work for a whole movie, but it was yeah, anyway. I'll add my thoughts at a later point, so there we go. Okay, so it is much later. It's now like 6 o'clock in the morning. I had a lot more work to do, so I'm going to sit down now and talk about body bags for a little bit. I'm going to make this a Conquering My Collection video because I've never watched this Blu-ray, so it was the first time for me watching it in true high definition. And I have to say, first of all, it was good to get Connie's thoughts. I was really excited to show this to her. When I first watched it, I thought, I'm looking forward to watching this again someday and showing it to Connie. So in that case, in that sense, it was a disappointment that she didn't like it, but I'm not too surprised either because it isn't great, you know. It's good, you know, but I don't know. There's something. I don't know. It's a weird blend of those three stories, and I did look it up. It was meant to be a TV anthology show and was then kind of repackaged as a movie, I believe. And I do consider it a John Carpenter film. I'm sure most people would balk at that, but you know, he directed 2/3 of it. Tobe Hooper did the last story. And it's strange because this has like loads of horror alumni, who star in the film as part of the cast. We have Sam Raimi in a cameo in the gas station segment. We have Wes Craven in a cameo in the gas station segment. We have David Norton in the gas station segment from American Werewolf in London. And then you got Toby Hooper popping up near the end. John Carpenter himself plays this kind of the guy in the morgue. And I really love John Carpenter. He's something effortless about the way he's funny as this this creepy guy in the morgue. And John Carpenter, he has certain distinguishable features, and he just like leans into those with the makeup and the way that his character is portrayed in the wraparound segments. Stacy Keach is so funny in Hair. I think it's just such a good performance. Like, yeah, it's a goofy story, but I don't know, there's something, it's just a really good little, like, spooky tale, and like I said before, it's like a perfect midnight movie, a perfect late night movie, something you switch on at 1 o'clock in the morning, and it's enjoyable on that level. This isn't something to maybe bring people around and go, watch this film, this is great, because it isn't. But and the body bags thing, where I love the humor of John Carpenter kind of being this guy who works in the morgue, and he's just so disdainful of all these bodies he's got in the morgue that died of natural causes. Like, he's cutting into bodies and going, ugh, natural causes. I hate natural causes. Give me something interesting. Ooh, the body bags. This is where the really cool shit. So that's where you find the bodies in the body bags, and then the three stories tell you how that came to be, how the bodies came to be. So I think the gas station segment is brilliant. I actually really love the mood of it, and I also really enjoy Hair. It's very dreamy but funny, short. And who's the other guy? David Warner, I believe, who's the guy in Hair who who sells Stacy Keach on this kind of this procedure that will give him more hair. And I just love the kind of, I think everyone can relate to the kind of, not vanity, but the self-consciousness of our own appearance that Stacy Keach's character has in that, where he's just so downbeat about the fact that he's balding. I think it's something we can all relate to. It's just like little imperfections about ourselves, and maybe not obsessing over it as much as his character did, but you could maybe understand certain things you don't like about yourself, and what would happen if those things just got worse and you just felt so bad about it, and it kind of consumes you and takes over your whole life. And then when he finally gets the hair, it's brilliant. And I love the shot when he wakes up in the morning, he takes the bandage off, and this just perfectly like coiled hair drops down. It's so well timed, and then he has to pull the bandages off, and his hair falls down, his long flowing locks, and he is just laughing and just like, it's probably like about a minute long, this take, and he does such an amazing job of making you believe how overjoyed he is. And if he messed it up or he didn't get it quite right, then it'd probably take a while to kind of put the bandages on and get the hair perfectly like in position again. So I think he just nailed it. Like, it's just such a funny and actually kind of heartwarming moment as well. Even though he gets a bit sleazy and he starts going, "Oh yeah, the ladies are gonna love this." You just laugh. It's really funny. And then the Eye film, there's just something really unsettling about it. I don't know what it is. It's the scene when he's kind of half raping his wife. It's really uncomfortable, and you're seeing Mark Hamill's balls flopping around. I mean, it's all there. I'm pretty sure you could even see her stuff. It's just like, and I mentioned that in a video that I haven't even posted yet, but there are certain sex scenes in films where they're filming at an angle where you can see everything, and I don't understand, because it's just like, oh, there it is, and it's distracting. I don't know, it's weird, and Connie was made uncomfortable by it. I could understand why. It just distracts too much from what's going on, I think, personally. Keep it more in close-up, where you're just seeing their faces, and it's more, I don't know, just more in the moment, more impactful and personal. When you're cutting from behind and you're seeing all the genitals flopping around, it becomes something else entirely, I think. I don't know. And it's not being prudish, it's just not needed, And Mark Hamill really does sell this state that he's in towards the end. Like, he has a really good speech towards the end where like he looks like manic, and the fact that one of his eyes is different, it just really throws off something about the appearance. He's got the kind of the Ned Flanders mustache. It doesn't look like himself. It's really strange. And yeah, so overall I really enjoy this, but I have to say there's a real big problem with this Blu-ray. and I thought it was maybe my player or our TV, something had happened, or it was like, I don't know, defective disc, or maybe the HDMI cable was not in fully. The audio on this Blu-ray is terrible. It's really bad, and the problem is it gets distorted whenever there's sibilance. Like whenever you hear someone saying something with the saying something like with this and sharp noises like that, sharp, like they would just like it's just really badly compressed. I don't know what the issue is. It's most noticeable in the first segment, but it kind of happens throughout, and it will start to come back again in the third. There's two audio tracks. There's DTS 5.1, I think, and then just Dolby Digital 2.1. I think I switched to the stereo track because it wasn't as noticeable, but it's there on both, and I thought I was going crazy. Went on the Blu-ray forums, and everyone was talking about it when this thing came out. I guess it was like 7 years ago now. This Blu-ray came out in 2013, I think. So, yeah, they just Scram Factory, Scrome Factory, Shout, Scream Factory, the factory people. They didn't bother to fix it. And yeah, all the professional reviews are saying the sound is fantastic, the dialogue is crisp and clear. So people are speculating if maybe like the review discs didn't have this problem. Like no one seems to know what it is, and many have said that it, they're willing to put up with it, and I can understand that because it isn't the worst thing in the world, but it does bug me. I had to keep turning the volume down because it was too abrasive on my eardrums. Is that can sounds be abrasive? I don't know, but you know what I'm talking about. So this has an audio commentary on the whole thing with a variety of participants, including John Carpenter. Stacy Keach appears on the segment for Hair, and then a featurette with some interviews with John Carpenter, producer Sandy King, Stacy Keach, and Robert Carradine. So Carradine, who knows? Yeah, I love this film. It's not a very good one, but I just really enjoy it. It's just super fun, and I was glad to watch it again. Connie, as she stated earlier, emphatically, will never watch it again. Which I can understand. I don't know, maybe some people just won't jump out to, but I would like to see a new Blu-ray of this just to have the sound fixed. I don't know, it's one of those things, but it's great to have this. I love the artwork on this. This is super cool. And, it makes my John Carpenter collection a little bit more complete to have it. So, audio issues or not, it's a good Blu-ray. It's let down by the audio. I don't know what the audio problem is. It must have been an authoring issue, because again, people on the forums are saying that it was, because some people said, well, maybe that's just the way it's always been, like it's the problems with the source, but other people said it's not there on the DVD or the VHS or whatever, so if there even was a VHS release of this, I don't know. Anyway, I'll leave it there. My favorite's The Gas Station. I think it's a genuinely good little horror film. I think that's also like set in Haddonfield, so there's all these little references for horror fans. It's just fun. It's just a fun movie. It's just, I don't know, I really, really like it. I think I rated it on Letterboxd as like 3.5 out of 5, which, it's a pretty good, film, but I'd maybe even go to a 4 out of 5, just pure enjoyment. It's just fun. I just enjoy it. It's and again, like I said, I'm just repeating myself I'm just going mental now with repeating myself, but it really is, the reason I love it is that it is a perfect late night movie, and they don't always necessarily need to be good ones. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
It's alright by me. Apart from the fact he throws cans and calling into a tree. Yeah, he's really cool. Yeah, he's really cool. But he's not quite as cool as you.